And we are live. Gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Mecca of Banter podcast. It's been a minute since I've been on this podcast. I've had some busyness in the life pop up, but I thought that it was the perfect podcast to jump back in coming off of a 4-1 loss to Seattle. Nothing else I'd rather talk about on a Monday, But it's great to see you. It's your boy Hen. It is a great week. And when I say great week, I mean, it is a great week to be a Manchester United fan. I'm stoked to talk Europa League, less stoked to talk about the Prem, but excited to be here with three of my best mates talking about the sport that we love so much. So without further ado, let's check in with the fellas. Nick Hayflinger, we'll start with you. How you feeling?
I'm super excited to be here, boys. I'm happy that we have at least 4 guests this week. I think we've been running a couple of duos the past couple of weeks that I've been a part of.
Saying guests, 4 guests.
Oh,
4
sorry.
Hosts.
But I've been here for 5 years, brother.
I mean, you miss a week and you're a guest to me, I guess. But I think the timing of this podcast is hilarious because as we speak, Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest are tied 1-1, and that has big implications on the Champions League for my squad. So if you guys see me peeking over to my top left, that is what I am watching. As always, though, you can find me at Hayfy4 on Twitter. One club is not looking so great. The other one is getting me 3 points against the former champions. So I'm in an okay spot.
Yeah, it's funny. If in the middle of the podcast, Nick just starts yelling, that's probably what's going on. Just like when we recorded with the Soccer Dads pod and Hoover was in the middle of talking. He's like, and Tottenham conceded a goal. But Hoover, how you feeling today, big dog?
Good, man. Happy to be back. Missed last week. No, it's been, just another week. It's another week of being a Spurs fan, another week of being a St. Louis City fan. Those are usually the same feeling. I guess I am feeling a little bit better with my English team this week specifically, but there's always a chance to bounce back for the boys in red. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to chat on it. Happy to be here.
Good, man. And last but not least, my United brother, Dubs. What's going on?
What's up, fellas? It's good to be back. Good to see you, boys. It has been. It's just an awful all-around sports weekend. Hooven, Hen, and I were texting about it earlier. Between the Blues losing, City just continuing to be ass. I guess at least the positive is the United game meant absolutely nothing. But I'm here. I mean, like Hen said, Europa League. Big game this Thursday. So good to see you, boys. It's good to be back.
Good to have the fellas here. Let's jump in on St. Louis City, shall we? Wow. It was a 9:30 Central Time kickoff in Seattle, and I'm so bummed that I stayed up for the majority of that game. So, like I said, 4-1 loss to Seattle, which is weird because the last time we played them, it was the last time we won a game, like 2 months ago. So, let's just dive in. What went so catastrophically wrong in this game?
Where do you want to start?
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
I mean, I think that we should talk lineup first because I think there's a couple of different ways that we can go about lineup. We could go about injuries. We could go about, lineup choices. But, I mean, there's just very little redeeming qualities about that lineup right now. We texted before the game started. We saw Celio get dropped down to the bench, which, on one hand felt a little criminal, felt a little bit shocking that our creative player is dropped to the bench. But at the same time, he got burned for 2 goals the previous game. You can't get burned for 2 goals and retain your starting spot. But I guess maybe you can if you look at our current backline who plays every game. So, let's dive in there. We saw the Triangle of Death back. We saw Akil Watts, Kyle Hebert, and Josh Yarrow all playing next to each other for the Triangle of Death. And the death was deathing. Very few completed passes, if any at all. Dude, I mean, it's just so bad. But we're just kind of ass at the moment. I don't even know if that encompasses
It's so weird, too, because, again, we're informed soccer fans and football fans. We like to think that we've got a little bit of a knowledge, increase than some of the casuals. But when the casuals are pointing out the right side sucks, then somebody at the inside needs to understand that it's not working. Like, dude, I get we've got all these guys out. Like, I think that's the biggest piece of holding us all from maybe being Olaf out is that we've not had a completely healthy squad yet. And the first 5-ish games with a mostly healthy squad and a new manager, you're going to give them some more time and some more grace to get things to go. It's just not working from that.
Mm-hmm.
So who's missing out on the conversation in the front office and in the team and in the match day preparation that's like, no, you know what? Run him back out again. This is going to be fine. Like, I don't know what we adjust because Tottenham's out. Nothing works on the right side without him.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, we're not willing to give somebody else a chance back there, or the dire need to rely on Kyle Hebert every week is driving me insane. I've said this every week. Like, it just, I don't understand where the disconnect is coming from.
Yeah, I mean, I don't either. It's just, I also, at one point today, I was kind of like, man, maybe it is like the injuries, but also I'm like, okay, so Tottenham comes in to that, right wing back slot, and that does change things for sure. And then you have Kessler in the back. In Leuven, I guess, even though it's not an injury, he's been out. Durkin's injured, but I don't know, like I think maybe with the exception of Tottenham, maybe, I don't know if any one of those guys back into the lineup really transforms what we're seeing right now. Like, because I feel like what it is like a systematic, just zero plan. There's no plan going forward. There's no progressions in the passes. There's just nothing.
I think Berkey will help a lot, hopefully defensively. Like, yes, he's only our goalie, and some people just think that's not allowing goals in the back of our net. But I think also just structurally, like defensively, I think he's a big part of it, telling people where to go, leading and communicating loudly. So I do think he will hopefully have an impact when he comes back, especially organizing us and making sure we're at least in better spots defensively, because I do think that's one part that Lund lacks in, is that like leadership quality that we're missing from Berkey being in the back of the net, because as a center back, a vocal keeper is very, very important in a back line. So I think I agree with you. I don't think our injuries by any means will like drastically change us, but I do think Berkey will help us at least defensively a lot.
I do too.
He can cut the defense out of a play too. Like, none of those guys are great ball playing center defensive players at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's just skip them with a ball pinged out from our man Roman, and then I think that alleviates some of the issue. Like, we just sit there and waffle on the ball on the back all the time, and it doesn't matter if it goes forward or backwards. The pass rarely gets completed anyway.
What I just don't understand though is like, this has to be an Olaf thing, because we did not see it under Hackworth. Leuven has been the guy dropping deep to pick up the ball while he's been playing. In Leuven's absence, it's been Hartl dropping back to pick up the ball deep. And when I say picking up the ball deep, I mean alongside the center backs. Neither one of them, that's really their game. Like, they're really good on the half turn. They're really good at progressing the ball forward. But we're completely losing Marcel Hartl out of the team whenever he's dropping that deep. So when he's not in there, we just don't have anyone in the attacking half who's doing anything. I mean, I can't tell you how many times Klaus was on a complete island by himself this last game. And I know that Klaus is such a polarizing topic within the St. Louis City fan base, but you can't blame the guy. He's like working his ass off. I can't even tell you how many defensive recoveries that guy had tracking back. Like, he just has to be so frustrated. And so, yeah, I feel like the injuries, it'd be irresponsible of us for us to not talk about the injuries, but I am getting to the point where I'm very close to Olaf out.
I'm going to say something, and this is I think the biggest concern is injuries are always a little bit of an excuse, especially in the MLS, where there's such a lot. In the MLS, I feel like there's such a big gap between the best players and the worst players on any given team. And I do feel like Kessler for us was that rock, and so losing him there is a ton of disparity between a Kessler and a Yarrow and a Hebert, right? There is just that gap. For me, the one thing that I will consistently say, and I've said it about United, I said it about City last year, is the fact that none of these players seem like they're bought in. Like not a single one.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is it's like even when you're losing, there is no heart, there's no desire, there's no passion, there's no nothing. It's like we score a goal against a good Seattle team. We 1.5 minutes later concede a terrible pen with a guy who has 3 defenders on him. And then from there, it was like we all knew if you were watching the game exactly how the rest of that game was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like we knew we were going to lose the game. There was no fight. There's no anything. There's no passion, whatever. And for me, like that is, I mean, yes, players have to have it on their own, but at the same time, like that, it comes from one, you have to believe in the guys around you. You have to believe in the system. It's inspired by a coach. And we don't have to say Olaf off, but it's inspired by a coach. If you compare it to other sports, guys get injured, and there's teams that do spectacular things without their best players all the time.
Yeah, very true.
But this team for weeks has just seemed like an uninspired group that is just going to continue to use injuries as a potential excuse for why they're not winning games. But fellas, even when we had everybody at the beginning of the season, it was not pretty. Like it was ugly. We have been boring for weeks.
Yeah.
I think that's my biggest concern is it's like we can get Lewin back, right? We can get Kessler back, but it's like, does the mentality, does the attitude change? And then without even that, it's like the tactics don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like if you don't have that from the get-go, you can do all the X's and O's. You can be Pep Guardiola, you can Arteta with a light bulb, like all the different stuff. But until the players are inspired, like no amount of tacticos is going to fucking sit there and make us play better. To me, that's the biggest concern about watching. And like, I'm a big person that like, if it's not interesting to me, I just won't watch it. I still have continuously watched this team for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, I can't get my wife to watch it. I can't get anybody to watch it with me because nobody wants to anymore, for real. And we just sit there with our eyes bleeding week in and week out right now.
Yeah, they're going to get into dangerous territory, especially with ticket sales. People are beyond frustrated. If you go on St. Louis City Twitter, people are having a really hard time even just giving away their tickets, not even for sale. Just like, hey, I have tickets, I can't go tonight. Does anyone want them? And they just sit there. So yeah, I think another thing that just kind of bothered me during the broadcast, we don't just have to keep talking St. Louis City because I think we're all going to get really depressed, and we have some exciting things to talk about the second half of this episode. But I guess Olaf in one of his pregame interviews talked about how like it takes time to implement a system. It takes time to do the work. I agree with you. And I think John Hackworth was able to use that conversation last year whenever he came in, mid to late season, didn't have a preseason, didn't get to sign any players, just got to adopt this team and then implement the changes that had happened. We talk about with Manchester United, Ruben Amorim coming into November, not having a preseason, trying to completely change the system, all of that. Olaf has been chosen for months. Like he had a full preseason. He got to bring players in. He got to do all of that. And so to still be like, hey, it takes time to implement a system. I don't ever want to hear that ever again. Because again, Hoover, you touched on it. We're pretty like well-educated soccer fans. We can pick things up pretty quickly. If we can't see a system out there, I can promise you the players can't either. So I just can't be hearing that. And if we go another couple of weeks, I think it was Will Bratton, who we've had on the pod before. I think Will talked about, how long of a leash does Olaf have in relation to what Carnell had. And I think it's shorter personally. And I do see a world where if this doesn't change by the time there's the League's Cup break or whatever the fuck it is, he could be gone.
Dude, I mean, like, at least Carnell's situation was he was figured out. Mm-hmm. Like, whatever we were doing originally, the Gegenpress or whatever you want to call it, was working. Like, very, very, very well. We were so successful in 2023 because, up until July in the first season, we didn't really get figured out. So his refusal in adjusting and getting flexible was his downfall. And that was the sword he was willing to die on. We don't know what Olaf's plan and tactics are. Like, we watch these games week in and week out. And yes, we use wingbacks high up the field. They really make the whole thing tick. Trying to interchange with the midfielders to find long balls down the side to Klaus or create crossing opportunities. Like, I think that's it. Like, that's all that I've been able to pull out of this thus far. And like Dope said, you do that with your first team, your B team, your youth teams. Like it needs to get implemented, and everyone has to be on the same page, and it just doesn't feel that way with anybody.
Mhm.
So, we play Union Omaha in the U.S. Open Cup.
And
We
I'm
could
terrified.
lose that.
I'm
Yeah,
terrified.
we could absolutely lose that game. There may not be more than 10,000 fans in the stadium. And then the week after that, we play Kansas City. Like I've said this a million times too. It's like, I'm going to give him 5 games. I'm going to give him 5 games. I'm going to give him 5 games. And we have gotten past that point to where the next 3 to 4 are extremely telling to me. We've got guys coming back from injury. Hopefully we'll be able to, field a more first team quality, starting 11 in the next couple of weeks. But like, this is it. He's on his final days if we don't start turning this around.
I'll be there Wednesday, and he will be hearing it from me. So,
Ooh.
I think the biggest thing, fellas, like that for me is like, and this is just American sports in general. I would say that we've talked about this before, but the city fan base, the in stadium sellout crowd, I would say it's probably like 30-70, 30 being the super knowledgeable soccer fans, the other 70 being the enjoy soccer. But in American sports, people like to be entertained. Like, you need to be entertained. And I feel like I can't say that one single time since I've watched City, and I know, you know what I mean? We say that we know the game a little bit better. I haven't been entertained one time.
Nope.
Like, by anything. Like, all season long. Going forward, you name it. Like, it's all fun and dandy for me to be like, all right, shut out, shut out, shut out. But that only matters when you're scoring goals.
Yeah, maybe a Kessler block here and there was exciting.
Maybe a Kessler block, that'll get you fired up. But, like, this team is not going to be – this team, for me, it's like they need to find a way. Put Celia on. Don't play the 2, 6-something white guys that are slow as shit next to each other and be like, cross balls into the box. Like, somebody go on the field and entertain.
Yep.
Like, do something creative. That's what the sport is about. That's why people go to the games. That's why I couldn't say yes to tickets fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can't. Now I don't say no to tickets fast enough.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's because it's just a boring product.
I don't know if you all paid attention to Ryan Kemp when he came on the field for Seattle. He was a man who formerly played for Rangers over in Scotland or whatever for years, and he was like a FIFA legend. So fast on the ball, but he came on and did like a couple of combinations right away, and I was like, oh, there it is, like different grade. That just doesn't exist in our squad. So missed opportunity in getting him, I suppose. But we'll see how Wednesday goes. If Wednesday and Saturday back to back go poorly, the Sporting Kansas City game, my guess will be the game. It's like it's a you win, save your job, you lose, you're out. So
bye.
Yeah. Let's talk European competitions, fellas, because this group has a lot of interesting things to talk about. But first,
I can't believe it.
I know we're here.
Insane to me. That all the clubs that we support, it's us that have to talk about.
How exciting were those Champions League games? The Arsenal PSG game and the Barcelona
peak footy
game.
man,
dude.
Peak footy.
What I can say is, for all banter aside, between the Champions League final, the Europa League final, and the other European competition final, like we're in for some pretty big games over the next couple of weeks with it, kind of regardless of what happens over the second leg of these competitions. So Arsenal PSG, we knew that Arsenal were probably going to play a little bit of terrorist football, sit in, play defensively. I can't say enough good things about PSG going forward. Front to back, just a team full of athletes. Their midfield, between the three of them, man, PSG's midfield they're just great. They have everything that you want in midfielders. They have every single they tick every single box except maybe height for like João Neves and Vitinha. João Neves, but Fabian Ruiz is plenty tall for a midfielder. But Doué, Dembele, those two guys, those Kvaratskhelia, just incredible. So fun.
I'm curious to see this one, like, as much as I hate to say it, like, I played golf with Griff this weekend. Like, Arsenal's in this. Like, as crazy as it is, like, Martinelli missed a bang on, like, should have been a goal. Trossard should have scored. And I do think, I don't know if you guys watched Arsenal at the weekend, but like Declan Rice as an 8 is a lot different than Declan Rice as a 6. Mm-hmm. And with Partey being back in the 11 for the Champions League and not being suspended, like that midfield battle is going to be crucial. And if Arsenal, whoever scores first, in my opinion, is going to go on to win, because it's like, I think if PSG scoring goes up 2-0, I just think that Arsenal's going to open themselves up having to go get goals, and PSG on that counterattack is fucking deadly. They have three just demons up front.
Is Dembele injured for the second leg?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything. I do know that I saw that in differing selections here, Arsenal played basically full 11 this weekend, and PSG made 10 different changes to their 11 in the league. João Neves being the only one that played, he played right back. So like everybody basically for PSG is healthy, to where Arsenal played basically their starting 11 except for Timber, which didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But
that was a weird decision.
Lost.
Yeah.
And still lost.
Yeah,
I know.
still lost. Yeah, we fortunately don't have to talk about them in the Prem. But what do you guys think between these two teams? Who's doing it?
PSG.
You're asking the wrong guys.
I was going to say,
PSG.
I want PSG to just absolutely smoke them.
I think they're totally in it, and
100% in it.
Paris is not an easy place to go play either. Those guys are psychopaths. So, it's gonna be it's a game for the big game players. So you're gonna need to see Odegaard step up, who has just
getting ready to say he's an X factor for me. He's an X factor. Yeah.
If he shows up and plays to the ability that he and the Arsenal fans know he can play, they're in that. I think they're easily in that. But, man, without him, and if Rice isn't just taking it by the balls, then I don't know what they're going to be able to scare PSG with, because Donnarumma is a giant animal.
Donnarumma had a very massive game. I don't think he got talked about enough in that game. He made some crazy saves.
He's been insane the last couple of rounds. He has just been balling in top form. And whenever you got a keeper, playing in the way that he's playing, backed by just an absurd front five, you win a majority of those games. But I still think PSG do it. I think it could be another 1-0 game. Frankly, I think it's going to be tight. I don't think anyone's going to run away with anything, but
we haven't mentioned Luis Enrique, little Ryan Butchart on this podcast. He has been it's so funny that they lose, Messi, Neymar, all these Mbappe, and he builds this team with three midfielders that are perfect for his style, three athletic. The last time he won the Champions League was MSN, Messi, Suarez, Neymar. And now he's kind of rebuilt this team with a little bit of that Spanish identity, to keep the ball crazy on the counterattack. To be honest, I'm picking PSG just because I think he's going to outcoach Arteta.
Yeah.
I just think he's going to outcoach Arteta.
Yeah, I just think that it's going to be a little bit too much for them to come back for, especially with a soft underbelly. So we'll see. But how absolutely drunk was the Barcelona-Inter game? 3-3.
Give me 90 more minutes of that.
That's all I want. I mean, first of all, the Inter goals too. I know we'll talk Barcelona because we have to. But the Inter goals, the bike thing, the getting up there, winning that header, Dumfries with a brace, was it? It's just incredible, man. This sport is it's so fun. It's a reminder of why we love it so much. But Lamine Yamal, fellas. Lamine Yamal.
Oh my,
different
gravy. I mean, I think when his goal went in, that crazy, four guys on him, little touch inside, curler to the back post. I think that was a moment where I was just how lucky are we that we're watching this kid at 17 do it? It wasn't so long ago that he was 16 years old scoring in the European final for Spain. Now he's doing it on the next biggest stage in the Champions League. He's just a force to be reckoned with. But I think Barcelona is my favorite team in the world to watch right now. And I think you have Lamine Yamal doing it, and then you have Rafinha scoring fucking bangers, bro, on that corner kick from outside the box. It's everything you want. What a game.
Hansi Flick is the Lionel Messi of Ange Postecoglou's. The way they play, dude, it's electric. It's a high line. They have the defenders to kind of be able to do that, but inner specialty is those quick counterattacks, and they'll exploit the high line every single time. So it's such a fun dynamic between the two teams that play complete opposite brand of football. But when Hansi does it and he's got a 17-year-old star boy, It's amazing. But, when Ange does it, he's a fat Aussie bastard. So it just goes to show the quality.
Wait, don't you guys have Mikey Moore?
Yeah, bro, little Neymar out there. He doesn't get enough playing time, but he also sent a corner kick this weekend straight into the side netting. So I don't think he's going to see the field ever again. Andrew's field. No, this was so much fun, and I'm so ready for them to go back to the San Siro because there's no way it's just not gonna be the same. Like you're not gonna shut down Barcelona, but if you play a high line against Inter, you're not gonna shut down Inter.
Yep.
Like they're just set up so well for good football.
Yeah, I saw Lewandowski's back.
Yeah.
So,
but then again, like Fernan Torres, man, he's been great.
Fernand's been good.
Really I don't think Lewandowski's going to start, but I just more so mean like you're going from Fernan Torres to like bringing Lewandowski off. You know what I mean? It's just like they're so deep,
it's a good
dude.
Sub.
Yeah.
Nikki, I know that we're going to talk Europa League, but I know you have to hop out in a second. But the Conference League, you had a pretty dominant win over a team I've quite literally never heard of. I looked him up, still haven't heard of him. Before
11th in the Swedish league, I believe.
11th in the Swedish league.
Yeah.
Hey, by all means, man. By all means. How'd you feel?
How do you say it? How do you say it?
Djurgården.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No idea.
Yeah,
no idea.
I don't know.
Before
I'm
one
gonna
has
be
to
honest.
feel good.
Yes, it definitely feels good. Honestly, going to Sweden and playing on AstroTurf in that type of cold weather is horrendous no matter who you're playing. So by no means was I in incredibly confident spirits, but the 4-1 victory definitely helped out with that. And obviously coming back to the bridge, I'm hoping for a little bit of a similar result. Honestly, this tournament, I've said it many times, has been, I think, a blessing in disguise for us. It's given us the opportunity to play some of our young players that we have and get experience outside of the Premier League when right now for us the Premier League is very crucial and we need kind of our starting 11 out there at all times because we're pretty much every game's a final for us. But I think this one's just a huge confidence builder for us, and I'm hoping we make it to the final. And the other side of the bracket's kind of spicy over there as well. But yeah, like I said, going to Sweden and playing in that weather and getting that result and scoring those goals, I was very thrilled with. So
you're not ready for Spanish Anthony, baby.
Yeah,
Spanish Anthony's on fire.
Anthony's still in Cucurella's pocket the last time he played him, so it's all good.
All I'm saying is his goal in this game, 2-1 victory over Fiorentina, was great, and then the goal he had at the weekend in La Liga was just insanity.
Just absolute bangers.
It's got to start to piss you off at some point. Like,
yeah. Oh, I mean,
dude, I watched him dribble the ball to no man's land 100 times. It doesn't make me mad at all.
Yeah, you're like, no, this is what he needs. So earlier on in this competition, we said like anything but a trophy for you in this European competition is a failure. But now that we're getting to the actual side of the brackets, I don't know. I think if you get Betis, for example, I think that's just going to be a good game. They're just a really tough team.
I for sure think it'll be a good game, but I do definitely think if we don't beat Betis in the final, it is not like I'm upset. Like we should be winning the Conference League. That's just how it is, especially with the money we spent, especially with the talent that we have. Like I think we should be beating Real Betis.
Bro,
yeah,
level-headed
that's just what it is.
Isco, Lo Celso, Anthony, bro.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a good game, but like I said, I think I'll take
talk about some of the streets won't forget ballers.
Dubs, you want to talk about the 3-0 away victory in Bilbao for the Manchester United Soccer Club?
Sure.
Before you guys get into this, the fact that the Europa League final could quite literally be Spurs versus United is just absolutely insane to me, and like
bring it on,
blows
baby.
my mind.
Like I said, I guess I wasn't on last week. I pulled out all the stops for this game, fellas. I was asking ChatGPT to send me manifestations to read to myself to bring me positive vibes to this game. No, I'm honestly ecstatic. I think that the first 20 minutes of this game, Bilbao's a good team. They haven't conceded three goals once all year. They've conceded the least amount of goals in La Liga. I mean, that stadium was fucking bouncing
Electric.
too. Like the stadium was bouncing, and you 100% could tell too. Like there was some nerves in a lot of the players for the first 20, 25 minutes
Totally.
where Bilbao was in the game. And I think, the first goal obviously settled us down a little bit and was massive. I mean, you can't I've seen Harry Maguire's face photoshopped onto basically the best 10 players of all time for the past week. So like Harry Maguire beating a guy in the corner, the Ugarte assist, the Casemiro goal, just to get us up, I think kind of settled everybody into the game, especially in an environment like that. And then the red card, which in my opinion, it is a red card, but I think what's even funnier is like, I think Rasmus Højlund would probably want that red card too, because I think there's like a 99.9% chance if he doesn't get fouled, he doesn't score. He doesn't touch the ball. So I think, to be honest with you, I think as happy as I am with the 3-0, I still do think that, we hit the post, we hit the crossbar. I would have liked to see 4 or 5 up a man. Like I think that was realistic to where we kind of just controlled the game. I think it was like over 3 times as many passes as they had, and it was a great away performance. We've seen this team do some pretty wild and unexpected things this year. So Thursday's going to be tough. I mean, like 3-0 regardless. Like at Old Trafford, you'd think we were 1 foot in the final, but I'm not going to take it for granted just yet. Like I do think that I've seen this team give up some horrible goals, do some stupid fucking mistakes, give up some stupid penalties, take red cards all year long. So 3-0 is about as much as we can ask for. Like it's a fantastic lead going in it at home. But still, like we need to respect Bilbao. We need to respect the Williams brothers and take care of business. I fully hope we see a very solid performance all around. It'd be tough not to mention the remontada of Casemiro.
Yeah,
and
dude.
like I don't know if you guys have seen a picture of him from last season, where his face looks like he's 1,000.
Yeah, bro.
He's 1,000 pounds, and if you look
like
at
the boss man at the kebab shop.
100%. But then if you look at the picture of him with the shirt off, and it's going to sound weird, like man is shredded, head to toe shredded. Like you can just tell that he's taking it serious, and we've relied on him heavily in these big European games. He's a guy you have to rely on. Him, Maguire, Bruno. It's like a bunch of young guys around him. So ecstatic to be up 3-0, but I'm not going to say we're in the final yet. We got to take care of business Thursday.
Yo, I kind of want to talk about that red card real quick because I've got some takes, and I think it is a red card. But and I think the biggest flaw in all of that is that from a Bilbao or from a athletic club point of view, you can't stop playing just because you think something's happened. You can't stop, the next action. Like the ball's still in play, the whistle is not blown. You got to keep going. And I think it was a mental lapse for him to get pulled back like that. But I think if Højlund doesn't get pulled back, he puts the ball in the net. It is both not a red card and not a goal because that ball does hit Garnacho's hand when he's on the ground. And I think it's one of those things to where if he was a defender blocking a shot and it hits his arm, that is no penalty. We've already understood that that's not what's going to happen. But because it was leading up to a goal, then, that probably comes back because that's the rule. If it hits any part of the hand and goes towards a goal-scoring action, then it gets called back. So I thought it was weird just because I don't think I would have blown it dead for that handball either. But when you look at it retroactively and the ball goes in the net from Højlund, it gets called back, in my opinion. So it's weird.
Like, I understand that. I just don't think that, like, when you review
it's just like making up a situation that didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's...
But reviewing that red card, I don't think they can go back and look at a handball or not.
No,
like,
there
I think
wasn't
that's
any
the problem.
way.
But, like, to your point, if the ball does go in, maybe they do call it back. But, yeah, I just don't know what it would be. The thing that is tough is that the defender puts him in a really compromising position, the referee, that, you can't... I mean, you're the last man there, clear and obvious goal scoring opportunity, pulling back. Like, you just can't do that.
It's a red.
It's
a red card.
It's just a red. And I think what was challenging, or at least probably for me, like the moment of like, whoa, was the fact that like nothing was called right in the moment, like the ball went by, it went out of bounds, or whatever it was. And like, there was no point to the spot. There was no anything. So, when they reviewed it, I was like, okay, this is for sure a penalty, for sure, because obviously he's reviewing it, whatever. And then to get the red card as well, I was shocked.
I don't remember what the rule is on like double jeopardy too.
That's
like,
what I thought too. I was surprised about that.
I actually don't know when that comes into play and when it doesn't. Like, does it have to be that close, or like, does it have to be in the box? Like, my assumption was clear, nailed on penalty. Guy can probably get a retroactive yellow card, move on.
Yeah.
But to get the red and the pen, I was like, man, that's
tough.
That's tough. And it all stems from that stupid decision. Like, if he doesn't do that, he doesn't get a red card. The goal may not count. It may be an 11-11 at 0-0. So, like, stupid. But you benefit.
Yeah, we got to take care of business on Thursday. I am with you, Dobes. I am not 1 foot into the final yet. We just got to go and take care of business. So we'll hope that the unbeaten streak in Europe can continue. But you just don't know. Like you said, we've done some weird things.
I do. You can flip a coin what the fuck's going to happen. You never know.
No idea. Hoove 3-1 against Bodo Glint. The worry is the 1 goal they scored is a 2 goal deficit versus just 3. So how are we feeling about your odds going into Thursday?
Dude, it's this. I don't know. I was buzzing. Like, I think before the game you would have taken 3-1 because in my mind that first goal would have happened in the first 2 minutes and we would have been clawing back at 1-0 down for the rest of the game. But the fashion in which they scored that goal, which huge lifeline for them, no question. That was super disappointing. Deflated the air out of the stadium, deflated the air out of all the fans online. Everyone remembers the Mura knockout game a few years ago where they lost 3-0 away at Mura or whatever to get knocked out in the quarterfinals. So Spurs fans' memories are extremely long, and there will be no shortage of concern going to Norway, playing in front of 11,000 people on a plastic pitch as well. So,
brother, listen to this. It says it's supposed to be 7 degrees.
7 Celsius. That's like 40.
So the stat right here has that their overall win rate at home in Europe is 70%. Their win rate away is 6. Their average win rate in 5 or 7 degrees and lower is 86%.
Ain't that something, dude?
That's a crisp day in England. You know what I mean? That's not out of the norm for what these guys.
There's like a picture of the TV trucks arriving just with snow everywhere around.
I'm more concerned about the plastic pitch because Tamworth took 20 minutes on theirs, and they're in the 5th division of the English Pyramid. So, I think end of the day, you've got to expect the same type of performance. Like, it's not going to be an atmosphere. We're not going to PSG here. We're not going to like even like Eastern Bloc Europe. Like, there's not going to be savage fans with flares and pyro going crazy and throwing stuff at you in the corners. I'm sure they're going to be very classy, nice Norwegian folks. But still, like, how strong they are at home. Just because you don't know any of their players doesn't mean you can't take them any less seriously. And I don't think they did I think they took them very seriously in the first leg. So that last goal, I mean, seriously, it killed me. Like, it was so aggravating to see that go in. And then to not score another one, within the next couple of minutes, disappointing. So, yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm nervous, like, still, again, against nobody, dude. It just shouldn't be like this, but it is with Spurs. Like, it's just what I've grown accustomed to. So I'm nervous, but there's just no reason for them to not get this job done, in my opinion. We're not going to be sitting in and building up a low block against the 4th place Norwegian team away. Like, we're not going to PSG and having to pack it in. And I think that will fall on Ange, and I think Ange knows that, and I think that's still the plan, is he's going there to play the same way he played in the first leg, which should result in something like a 3-1 win for Spurs. But we all know that that's not how it goes. It's never that easy. So, excited they won, happy they won in the fashion they did, but they knew that they were going to be up against it in the second leg, so it had to happen, and you just got to put a performance together.
What's the injury status for your team heading into Thursday?
There's some concern on Matters, which sucks. I know Solanke came off early as well. I don't think his was nearly as concerning. No clue on what James Madison's going to look like or if he's even a fit and available. Sonny's not going to make the trip either. I think Sonny is a week or two away from coming back, but I don't think he's going to be ready for this. So,
I thought Madison was out for the year.
that was Bergvall. Bergvall right before this weekend.
What's today's date? No, this was yesterday, bro. It says the Spurs. This is what I saw. The Spurs Express. James Madison's season is over. Fears knee injury is significant, with scan results expected in 24 hours.
Sweet. All right. So
you heard it here first, folks.
That's our two most creative midfielders out. So that's awesome. That means we're going to be stuck in a Sar, Bentancur, and Basuma penitentiary.
The first triangle of death.
The original.
Bro, don't tell me he played this weekend and got hurt though.
He did.
Who?
Madison.
I thought he got hurt on.
I'm asking you. I didn't watch Spurs. I don't know if he played this weekend.
Look at us.
I hardly watched Spurs.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if he got hurt Thursday. Like I was going to say, it's like he's the one guy you don't play at the weekend.
Oh no,
I don't think he
didn't play. No.
He didn't.
Okay, good. Okay, I was going to say.
Kulusevski's back though, and he notched 90 against West Ham, which is great. He's not been the same since his injury either, but I'm still going to feel better with him in the middle, at least in a creative sense. So, just go and do it. Just you just got to go do it. Matthias Tell's been good. I think he's starting to kind of figure it out and come into his own. He had assist at the weekend. Wilson Odobert, since his injury, has been really solid in the Europa League too. So yeah, I'm hoping things just kind of fall into place from there. And as long as our back line's healthy, which they are, which is random and not a common thing for us, then I feel pretty decent about it.
Yeah,
but
you can hold the lead.
I feel like with both of us, there's never going to be 100% confidence.
Nope.
No.
I have pictured in my head like Bilbao scoring 3 in the first half already a couple times. Like it's very possible too.
Oh
yeah.
God.
I don't see Bodo Glimt beating us off the pitch, but I do see them scoring a late equalizer. I've run that scenario over in my head.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
And then all of this to maybe probably play you guys in the final. I hate it. I hate it so much. You guys haven't beaten us since 2022, but this would be the game. This would 100%
but
be the game.
I trust us in a final against anybody just because it's how we are in finals. But the only thing that makes me nervous is it's like, dude, Rory won the Masters.
Oh, I know.
Dude, Harry Kane won a trophy. It's all aligning for Spurs drought to end. Dude.
Yeah, the Leafs advanced past the first round of the NHL
playoffs. Bro.
I hate it. I would rather play you than Athletic Club at their own home stadium, though. So,
that's the other thing where it's like that's going to be electric there. But
right,
to wrap out the episode, we have Premier League, which honestly I don't even feel like we need to talk about it. Like none of our games really matter. United got fucking smashed by Brentford, but what's new there? Scored 2 late goals. Garnacho's goal was an absolute banger.
Yeah, he scored a screamer,
which was nuts. Montiello got some good minutes under the legs, which is good. Arsenal lost 2-1, which is hilarious.
Their best 11. I'm still confused by that.
Best 11.
I'm still confused by that.
But I do want to give a shout out to Chelsea beating Liverpool 3-1. Maybe a little bit of a title hangover there for Liverpool.
One of the worst games I've watched in a very long time.
It was bad, but Chelsea had to take care of business, like what Nick said at the top of the podcast. So they did. Their top 4 journey lives on. Before we leave tonight, Hoover, I want to give you a chance to give some notoriety to Mr. Harold Kane for winning his first trophy.
He did it. It's like losing your virginity to a prostitute, but you still lose your virginity.
Yeah, it's still gone. Still gone.
It's still gone. He wins the Bundesliga title with Bayern Munich. And they outright deserved it. Like he scored 40 something goals.
Yeah.
He was the fastest. I think he's the fastest player in the Bundesliga to reach 50 goals total, surpassed Lewandowski's record, and he's still very clearly doing it. they stuttered against Inter Milan in the Champions League, and really was rooting for him then. And unfortunately he wasn't blameless in that either. But I do think a lot of guys can kind of hold that one on their shoulders too. But so happy for the guy. And he knew it. He knew the banter that was getting. He acts like he's not on social media, but he is. And yeah, when Leverkusen lost, he just posted the trophy emoji on his Instagram story. And then the next video was him singing "We Are the Champions" with Eric fucking Dyer at a team event after that game. So no one in the world, I think, deserves it more than him. He's been runner-up in so many major trophies, Champions League and FA Cups and the Euro and, name it. Notably his quarter or semifinal loss in the World Cup where he missed a penalty. The guy's gone through it, but all while being one of the best players in the world, in my opinion. I think he should be pretty high up on the short list of the Ballon d'Or. And, had they gotten further than Inter, I think he's a real conversation piece for the winning the best player. But yeah. Couldn't be more happy for the guy. You could tell it's just the biggest monkey off his back. And, he'll probably go out and get another one next year. It's just kind of what Bayern does. And maybe something.
Made me laugh, though, at the weekend whenever, or I guess not the weekend, but midweek whenever they played against Leipzig. And he went down to the touchline because they were winning 2-1. And, of course, with literally 10 seconds left, Leipzig tie it up for
Yusuf
them.
Paulson, dagger.
And then the camera immediately, pans to Harry Kane, and he's just like...
Yeah. I wanted to see him run onto the field, but it all wins the same for him, I think. And I'm so excited for that picture of him raising that trophy, dude. It's just going to feel cool. All of the Spurs fans have been absolutely 100% behind him. And, he's winning this for us almost too. We've been trophyless for so long, and 10 of the years that he played for us and was one of the best players in England, if not the world, we didn't win anything either. So, deserved. So pumped for him, Godspeed. Win another
Harry
one.
Kane.
Else.
Lastly, do either of you want to touch on Trent Alexander-Arnold getting the "Here we go" to Real Madrid this morning?
Dude, why are they so mad?
Liverpool fans are so funny today, man.
I don't the only fans that think they're bigger than they are. I don't know if you guys saw Carragher. Carragher was like, "I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed." Disappointed at what, dude?
He's won.
He won two Prems and a champion, in one a Champions League,
multiple trophies. He's been the integral part of the team.
And he's 26. Let him leave his hometown, bro. He didn't even get to go to uni. He didn't even get to town for college for a couple of years.
He never even went down to Missouri State, bro.
No, dude.
There was
forever.
I saw Rio talking about it today, and he was like, a bunch of fans have kind of been like, well, he should have let Liverpool know his plans to leave and let him get money for him. And Rio's like, well, a year ago, Danny Carvajal was the right back for Real Madrid and probably the best right back in the world, or up there. That spot wasn't open.
Yep.
He's been injured. You know what I mean? He's been injured now and is aging up there to where Trent is like, why would I not? That spot's free. They haven't signed anybody. My best friend is Jude Bellingham. Real Madrid is the biggest club in the world. If they want me on a free, sure. I can pick where I go. See ya. Done.
Yeah, and wasn't there the thing that Madrid made an offer for him in January that Liverpool shut down immediately?
Yeah, I think that's one of those things where Trent probably tried to do right by Liverpool and let them know that he was considering this, and Liverpool shut it down, hoping to probably convince him to stay. But it's one of those. It's even United fans. It's if Garnacho. I'm not saying this is real, but if somebody that had been at United forever, Ronaldo's the best example. Can you blame the guy for going to Real Madrid and winning 5 Champions Leagues?
Nope.
How could you ever?
Yeah. It's just social media is always a funny place. But
it's so
seeing
dumb.
them burn jerseys and all that stuff, it's just.
What did Griff texted something today? It was he's just like the crumble of ancient Rome all starts with just one piece.
We'll see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it for us on this week's episode of the Mecca of Banter podcast. Can't wait to chat next week, where this group of 3 will be in a very different spot on Monday, depending on what happens on Thursday. So, as always, follow us on the socials. we'll see if St. Louis City can bounce back this week and this weekend. And until next time, cheers, fellas.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers.